ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वंदे गुरुपरंपरां सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। ब्रह्म सूत्रास चैप्टर 4 पादा 4 संपत्त्याविर्भावाधिकरणं संपत्त्याविर्भावः स्वेन शब्दात् मुक्तः प्रतिज्ञानात् आत्म प्रकरणात् अविभागेन दृष्टव्याधिकरणं दृष्टत्वाधिकरणं अविभागेन दृष्टत्वात् ब्रह्माधिकरणं ब्राह्मेण जैमिनिः उपन्यासादिभ्यः चिति तन्मात्रेण तदात्मकत्वात् इति औदुलोमिः एवं अपि उपन्यासात् पूर्वभावात् अविरुद्धं बादरायणः। संकल्पाधिकरणं संकल्पादेव तु तश्रुतेः अतएव च अनन्य अधिपतिः अभावं बादरिः आह ह्येवम्। अभावाधिकरणं भावं जैमिनिः विकल्प आमननात् द्वादशाहवत् उभयविधं बादरायणोतः तन्वभावे संध्यवदुपपत्तेः भावे जाग्रवत्। प्रतिभाधिकरणं प्रतिभवादेशः प्रदीपवदावेशः तथा हि दर्शयति। स्वाप्यय संपत्त्योः अन्यतरा अपेक्षम् आविष्कृतं हि। We saw up to this sutra, 16th sutra, 4th pada, 4th chapter, 549th running Brahma Sutra in the last class. Now let us continue with the next adhikaranam and the next sutra today. 7th adhikaranam, Jagat Vyaparadhikaranam. जगत व्यापार वर्जम प्रकरणात् असन्निहितत्वाच्च। जगत व्यापार वर्जम प्रकरणात् असन्निहितत्वाच्च। 17th sutra, 4th pada, 4th chapter, 550th running Brahma Sutra. Let us see a general introduction to this adhikaranam. This adhikaranam has 6 sutras. And it is the last adhikaranam of the last pada of the last chapter of Brahma Sutra. And the subject matter of this adhikaranam is, in all the previous adhikaranams, we talked of Satyakama Shakti and Satya Sankalpa Shakti of the Upasaka who had meditated all through his life. And according to Tatkrita Nyaya, which we already saw in the last class, Tatkrita Nyaya, as a person meditates, so he becomes after death. That is that Nyaya. And that person has got now Satya Kamatvam and Satya Sankalpatvam. And he got Bhogas and could get Bhoga or Bhogya Srishti he could do. And even Manas Srishti he could do. So much creative power he will have, that Upasaka. And not only he has Srishti Shakti, he can maintain it also as long as he wants. He can sustain the Srishti also. At will, he can resolve also. And thus we find he has Srishti, Sthiti, Laya power. He got Srishti, Sthiti, Laya Shakti of various objects, bodies and mind. And our question is whether he can create the whole universe, maintain the universe, and resolve the whole universe. That is the subject matter discussed here. In Bhoga Vishayas, yes, but Srishti of the entire creation is a different thing. So this includes the Panchabhutas, and Vyasacharya calls this as Jagat Vyaparaha. In this particular adhikaranam, he calls it as Jagat Vyaparaha, the world business, we can say. It is world administration or operation business. This is generally attributed to Bhagavan, that we all know. He is the Srishti Sthiti Laya Karta. Jagat Vyapara means Srishti Sthiti Laya Kriyas. It is generally attributed to Ishvara. And the controversy here is when Upasaka goes closer to Ishvara, whether he will get all the Aishwaryam, all the power of Ishvara with regard to this creation itself. That's the question. Or if you want to put it in different language, whether the Upasaka's Aishwaryam is restricted or otherwise. Parichinnava, Parichinnamva, or Aparichinnamva. We are saying that the Aishwaryam is limited. Who says? Siddhanti says. He cannot become Ishvara himself. But the Purvapakshi argues that he must become Ishvara himself, and in support of this also, he gives some pramanam from various Upanishads. From Shruti he quotes. First in Taittiriya Upanishad, he attains absolute power. Such a Upasaka, he attains absolute power. In the first chapter, 5th section, 3rd mantra, and also in the 6th section, 2nd mantra of Taittiriya, it says even Devatas offer pujas to this Upasaka. Mahayati Brahma, Brahmana Bhava Sarve Veda Mahiyante, Bhuriti Vai Pranaha, Bhuvaitya Panaha, Suvariti Vyanaha, Mahayityannam Annena Bhava Sarve Prana Mahiyante, Tava Yetas Chatasras Chaturdha, Chatasras Chatasro Vyahritaya, Tayo Veda, Saveda Brahma, Sarve esmai deva balima bahanti. Sarve esmai devaha balima bahanti. Mahayiti brahmani apnoti swara ajyam apnoti manasaspatim vakpatis chakshushpatihi shrotrapatir vijnanapatihi etat tato bhavati. He has absolute power and all devatas even respect them. Such a Upasaka. And again in Chandogya Upanishad also, 7th chapter, 25th section, we saw this mantra earlier. Teshagum sarveshu lokeshu kamacharo bhavati. There is Shruti Pramanam in support of that. And there is this Tatkratunyaya. So he only tells the story of Jadabharata actually. Jadabharata's story is like that. So extend the same rule here. He should have Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Shakti like Ishvara. Who says? Purvapakshi says. Whereas Siddhantin says he does not have or cannot also inherit that power. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Shakti, creation of the universe, he cannot have. He cannot even inherit that power, such a Upasaka. Ishvara is Upasana Paladhata. Ishvara is the one who is the Paladhata. He makes sure that none comes near him. That is the conclusion of this Adhikaran. He is the one who is the dispenser of all the palam to various jivarasis. And Vyasacharya gives two reasons in this sutra. One is called Prakaranat. Whenever there is a discussion of Ishvara, in all these Prakaranas, the Upanishad talks about one Ishvara and never mentions other Upasakas at all. In all these Prakaranas, only one Ishvara is talked about. Upanishad does not say that Jagat Karanam is Brahman. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Kartrutvam is the very definition of Ishvara. If this power belongs to other Upasakas also, then the definition cannot become that of Ishvara. The Upasakas, they will use the word Brahman then. So Jagat Karanatvam and Ishvara Jagatvam, they are all linked together, and Saguna Upasakas, it is not mentioned anywhere also. So Asannihidatvat in this sutra, it is almost the extension of the first sutra of this Adhikaranam. So Ishvara is mentioned, Saguna Upasaka is not mentioned. And therefore, Saguna Upasaka does not have the Aishwaryam or the power of any kind of that of Ishvara. So the commentators also, they give two more reasons. If there are many Ishwaras, for example, all Upasakas also have the same power like the Ishvara. So then there will be many Ishwaras who are all Upasakas otherwise. There will be utter confusion. Why? Since one Ishvara will take to create, while others may do some other action. There will be Karma Pala Dhanam also. That will be different from one Ishvara to another. And any difference among many Ishvaras will definitely create confusion. And the third and the final clinching reason, actually A commentator like Anandagiri gives this, Saguna Upasaka will not have an opportunity to use the power at all. If Saguna Upasaka, what power? Creative power. If Saguna Upasaka has to do Srishti, create, either he has to create the current world or he has to create the next world. If a Saguna Upasaka has to have the power of creation, either he has to create the current world or he has to create the next world. He cannot create the current world because it's already created and it is already present. So create the next world, then this world has to go to Pralayam. Then only next world can be created. Then what happens at the time of Pralayam? This we have seen earlier. At the time of Pralayam, all Saguna Upasakas who have gone to Brahmaloka, they will get Nirguna Brahma Jnanam and get liberated from Brahmaloka. Then there will be only one Ishvara to carry on the creation with all Saguna Upasakas having merged into that Brahman. Saguna Upasakas, they don't exist since Upasaka is an individual. Then how can they create the world? Therefore also, Saguna Upasakas will have restricted powers only to enjoy the powers in Brahmaloka. They have gone to Brahmaloka, they have got a lot of powers with respect to pleasures, bhogas, but not with respect to creation, sustenance, and also all those other things which Ishvara does. Now let us see the word analysis of this sutra. Purvapakshi says he has all of them. Siddhantin says no, that's what Vyasacharya is establishing here in this sutra. Jagat Vyapara Varjam Prakaranat Asannihitatvacha. Jagat Vyapara Varjam. What is that? Powers of Upasakas exclude control of the world. How? Prakaranat. This is known from the context of creation. Cha Asannihitatvat. From the absence of the mention of the Upasaka in this context. Because in the context of creation, Upasaka's name is not mentioned, only Ishvara is mentioned. Now let us see the significance of the words. Jagat Vyapara Varjam Aishwaryam. The power of the Upasakas, Aishwaryam here refers to the power of the Upasakas, is Jagat Vyapara Varjam. He has all the powers excluding, without Jagat Vyapara of the world, creation of the world, operation. Operation is the little word, meaning here Jagat Vyapara, operation, and it is Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, business. All the things the Upasaka cannot have. Varjam means without that function. He is closer to Ishvara, true, but he is not Ishvara. Closer to Ishvara, but he is not Ishvara. Prakaranat from the Srishti Prakarana. And Vyasacharya means here, when you study Srishti Prakaranam, you come to know of only one Ishvara and not many Ishvaras. Asannihitatvat means the Saguna Upasaka is nearer to Ishvara, but he cannot be Ishvara. Non-proximity of the Upasaka, and it is that Upasaka's name is nowhere near in the context of creation. Nowhere it is said in Shruti that Upasaka creates a creation. Therefore, we know he doesn't get powers of creation, that is, doesn't have powers of creation. Cha means both reasons are taken as one common reason. There will be a lot of confusion otherwise. Let us go to the next sutra. Pratyaksha upadeshaditi chet na adikarika mandasthoktehe. Pratyaksha upadeshaditi chet na adikarika Mandastha Uktehe, 18th Sutra, 4th Pada, 4th chapter, 551st running Brahma Sutra. Here Vyasacharya answers the Purvapakshi. And the Purvapakshi has a question. And the first part of this sutra, up to iti chet, pratyaksha upadeshad iti chet, up to that is the Purvapakshi, his question. And later portion is our answer. Na adikarika mandastoktehe. Up to that is Siddhantin's answer. Now the Purvapakshi says, I cannot accept your argument because Upanishad says that Saguna Mukta Purushaha gets unrestricted powers. From Taittiriya Upanishad and all, he quoted, we just read. So I cannot accept your argument, is Purvapakshi's contention regarding these powers of the Upasaka, the creation, the power to create, creation power. So you should accept Upasaka as Ishvara with Jagat Vyapara Aishwaryam. So accept Upasaka himself as Ishvara, goes to Brahmaloka, and he is Ishvara there, and Jagat Vyapara Aishwaryam he has, creation and all that. Veda says so. His argument is, direct statements of Veda supports that Upasaka will be equal to God. This is said actually in Taittiriya Upanishad that we just read. Apnoti Swarajyam, Apnoti Manasaspatim, Vagpatihi, Chakshushpatihi, Shrotrapatihi, Vijnanapatihi, Etattato Bhavati. All that it says, Satyatma Pranaramam Mana Anandam, Shanti Samruddham Amritam. All that the you survey Devaha Balim Abahanti. So there's the word Swarajyam in the Upanishad, that one gets absolute freedom. Swarajyam. He is not under anyone, says the Upanishad. So Upasaka becomes Ishvara, it says. And Vedanta says Upasaka is under the control of original Ishvara with unrestricted powers. Original Ishvara has unrestricted powers. Upasaka will have only restricted powers. That means Upasaka is not totally free. Swarajyam, all those things cannot really apply to him. Therefore, Purvapakshi says, in your Siddhanta, Upasaka cannot have Swarajyam, Swatantriyam, and Upasaka will have Paratantriyam only. Swatantriyam is possible only when power is unrestricted, uncontrolled. Always there will be problem. Who is most powerful between this Upasaka and Ishvara? Who is most powerful? Karma Upasana will not have absolute power. Karma and Upasana will not give absolute power. Purvapakshi quotes the Vakyam and says that he has absolute power. He quotes from Upanishad. Siddhantin says it's not possible, whereas he says from the Upanishad itself it's possible. Vyasacharya says no to the question. He says, if you study the very same Taittiriya Upanishad, you will get the answer. He says, read it again. And Vyasacharya argues, after getting Swarajyam, he is supposed to go to Manasaspatim. Apnoti Swarajyam, Apnoti Manasaspatim. So after getting Swarajyam, he is supposed to get Manasaspati, supposed to become Manasaspati. And the word Manasaspati here refers to original absolute Ishvara only. That is Vyasacharya's argument. If a person is Manasaspati, he is the original absolute Ishvara only. The controller of all the minds is Ishvara. Manasaspati means the controller of all minds. And it is in the Surya Mandalastha Adhikarika Ishvara, the one who is in the Surya Mandalam, who is meditated upon. He is referred to here, Manasaspati here in Taittiriya. So one who gives karma phalam according to karma and upasana, and all the Saguna Upasakas who arrive at Brahmaloka must meet Ishvara in Manasaspati Rupa Narayana. So all those people who come to Brahmaloka, Vaikuntha Loka, Kailasa Loka, wherever it is, they will meet there the Ishvara as the Manasaspati Rupa Narayana or Shiva, whatever, Brahmaji. It is like the employer of the institution who appoints various recruits. The employer gives limited powers to the employee. So is Ishvara. He takes the Upasakas under him and gives powers to them, and the powers he gives is according to their karmas and not unrestricted, but it is Vishaya Bhogaha. These are all Bhogas. The power of sense pleasures only he enjoys. So for Bhoga Prapti, if he wants several bodies, he can have. That's what we already said, he can take several bodies and all that we mentioned. For Bhoga Prapti, to get Bhogas, he can take several bodies. It is Bhogeshwara Ishwaryam he gets, not limitless powers for Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. Therefore, Saguna Mukta Upasaka has limited powers for Bhoga and do not extend this to Srishti, Sthiti, Laya of Ishvara. Now let us see the word analysis. Pratyaksha Upadeshaditi Chet Na Adhikarika Mandastoktehe. Pratyaksha Upadeshat. This is Purvapakshi's argument. The Upasaka's unrestricted powers is known from the direct reference in this Shruti. We just now quoted from Taittiriya Upanishad, Apnoti Swarajyam and all that. Iti chet. If this is the contention of the Purvapakshi, it is not so, na, replies Vyasacharya. So Siddhanti says, if this is the contention of Purvapakshi, it is not so. Adhikarika mandalastha uktehe. Because Ishvara is mentioned separately as one approached by Upasaka. Ishvara is the one who is mentioned as the one who is approached by the Upasaka. Now let's see the word significance. Pratyaksha Upadeshat. From the Vedic statements, Panchama Vibhakti here, because of the direct statement of Taittiriya Upanishad, which reveals the unrestricted powers of Upasaka, Apnoti Swarajyam and all that. Apnoti Swarajyam reveals unrestricted powers of the Upasaka. If such question is raised by the Purvapakshi, we cannot accept that question because it is said so in the Taittiriya Upanishad. How it is said? Adhikarika and Mandalastha are two adjectives attached to Narayana Ishvara. Even before the Upasaka came to Brahmaloka, Ishvara was there. Even before this Upasaka came to Brahmaloka, Ishvara was already there. Adhikarika means one who controls the deserving people by giving them with appropriate powers. He has the Adhikaritvam. He gives the deserving people the appropriate powers according to their own karma or upasana and all that. That controlling boss is called Adhikarika. Alatars are called Adhikaris. Mandalastaha means Surya Mandalastaha, the one who is in the Surya Mandala. Generally, Ishvara is involved in Surya Mandala. Normally, that is how it is referred. Surya Mandala, Madhyavarti, Narayana and all that thing we say in the Sandhyavandan Karma also. So, Jiva Ishvara Aikyam is said in the scripture that Bhagavan is invoked in the orb of the sun. And this orbit is called Surya Mandala. Uktehe. Uktehe is a statement. So, this refers to separate mention of Ishvara. It is separate from Saguna Upasaka. He is different from Ishvara. Then he goes to Apnoti Manasaspatim. That is also said here in the Upanishad. The Upasaka goes to Ishvara as his boss. And the Upasaka asks, what are the powers I have? What are my allocations? All these things indicate that Upasaka is under Ishvara only. He wants so many portfolios. What are the assignments I got? He asks Ishvara. Because of this statement, Upasaka has only restricted powers and not unrestricted powers like Ishvara. And if he is under Ishvara with restricted powers, why did the Upanishad then say use the word Swarajyam? Yes, Upanishad says very clearly. Swarajyam refers to unlimited powers with regard to what? Bhoga Shakti. Yes, that statement is right, but that refers to only Bhoga Shakti, pleasures. Bhoga Shakti, he is the master for that. It is like a person having infinite powers in his company and in another company, he cannot do anything. So also Upasaka can have power with respect to himself in the Bhogas and not in any other realm, as Ishvara has. Let us go to the next sutra. Vikaravarticha tatahi stitim aha. Vikaravarticha tatahi stitim aha. 19th Sutra, 4th Pada, 4th chapter. 552nd running Brahma Sutra. Now, the Upasaka is disappointed. Why? Because the Upasaka thought by going to Brahmaloka, by practicing Upasana and all that, one can go to Brahmaloka and there he can become Ishvara himself. That's what he thought. Now, the restriction is mentioned after going to Brahmaloka and he thinks something is wrong somewhere. He thinks meditator should become what he meditated upon. Tatkritu Nyaya we already saw. In Tatkritu Nyaya, this is a violation of that Nyaya. Because I meditated upon Ishvara, but what I have got is not that. So therefore, he raises an objection for which answer comes in this sutra. So Tatkritu Nyaya means whatever you meditate, you become that. That is the Nyaya. We already saw in the last class. Therefore, this Purvapakshi, he raises Upasaka, raises a question, he raises an objection, for which answer comes in this sutra. So as a person meditates, so he becomes. Is this Tatkritu Nyaya? And Upasaka meditated upon Ishvara with all the powers, including Satyakamatvam, Satyasankalpatvam, all that we saw already. Then how you say that he has the restricted powers only? And Vyasacharya says that Tatkruta Nyaya is not at all violated here. Don't say there is any violation. You have to understand this only properly. Vyasacharya contends. Whatever be the Lord, whatever be the object or virtues, those he will get. Whatever virtues the Lord has, objects, virtues, vishayas, he will get. Ishvara has several features. And whatever feature he meditated upon, he will get that features he meditated upon. Ishvara has so many features. So this Upasaka meditated upon some features. And whatever he meditated upon, he will get. We all know that Saguna Ishvara has got many features. And Vyasacharya takes one example. And that is Nirguna Chaitanya Swarupam. The Nirguna Chaitanya Swarupam of that Ishvara, this guy should have meditated upon. He has the Paramarthika Nitya Muktatva Amsha. That Nirguna Chaitanya Swarupam of that Ishvara, it has got Paramarthika Nitya Muktatva Amsham. It has. That Amsham is there in that Ishvara. But the Saguna Upasaka, what did he do? He did not meditate upon this particular aspect at all. The Paramarthika Nitya Muktatva Amshat, he never meditated upon that. He is not even aware of that Nirguna Swarupam. And since he has not meditated upon that Swarupam, that Nitya Muktatva Amsha, he did not get it. He did not get that Mukti. It is not a violation of Tatkruta Nyaya. Whatever he meditated on, he got it. But this is the ultimate one. To get real mukti, he did not even know about it, so he did not get it, the Nirguna Swarupam of that Ishvara. So this is Tatkruta Nyaya, and what he did not meditate upon, he did not become. So there is no violation of this Tatkruta Nyaya. In Chandogya Upanishad, in the Ashtaguna Visishta Ishvara, the Srishti, Sthiti, Laya is not mentioned. We know this mantra. Yaha Atma, Apahata Papma, Vijaraha, Vimrutyuhu, Vishokaha, Vijigatsaha, Apipasaha. Satyakamaha, Satyasankalpaha. So this mantra, this is Yaha Atma, Apahata Papma. So all those 8 gunas, Jagat Vyapara Aishwaryam is not mentioned in this. Apahata Papma was said, Vijaraha, Vimrutyuhu, Vishokaha. Vijigatsaha, Apipasaha, Satyakamaha, Satyasankalpaha. All those 8 gunas are mentioned. But it does not mention Jagat Vyapara Aishwaryam, the ability to create, the Srishti. It is not in the Upanishad Vakyam. And since that is not mentioned here, there is no question of attaining that Shakti. By doing the Upasana, one cannot attain that Shakti that is not meditated upon. So no such Upasana is mentioned elsewhere. So Jagat Vyapara is not Upasya Amsha. It is not the thing which is meditated upon, and therefore there is no question of Upasaka becoming Ishvara with that Amsha. Now the general analysis of the Sutra, Sutra 19. And this and the next sutra are odd ones actually, where Vyasacharya talks about Nirguna Swarupam of Ishvara. Because we already said only Saguna Swarupam only is talked about in these various sutras, but Vyasacharya talks about Nirguna Swarupam here. And this is odd information because our context is only Saguna Upasaka's meditation of Saguna Ishvara that we already mentioned in the beginning. And as a result of that, he goes to Brahmaloka, which is called Saguna Mukti. We already gave all these different Muktis, Saguna Mukti, and it is not Krama Mukti. Going to Brahmaloka is Saguna Mukti. From Brahmaloka, if he gets Nirguna Jnanam and goes to this thing, that is Nirguna Mukti, that is Krama Mukti. And we have already seen Nirguna Jnana Phalam in the first part of this Adhikarana. The Nirguna Jnana Phala. After going to Brahmaloka, if one gains Nirguna Jnanam, and that Palam is what? That is Krama Mukti. So here Vyasacharya mentions Ishvara's Nirguna Swarupam. It is not the context here, but still he mentions it here. Vyasacharya does not mention any connection, why he is doing it here. But Shankaracharya and other commentators, they give the connection in their bhashyas. Now we will do the two sutras separately and independently also, so that the meaning out of the context. And then after completing the two sutras, then let us try to see the connection between the two sutras. Now I will give you the general analysis of this sutra. Vikara cha tatahi stitim aha. Vikara cha tatahi stitim aha. 19th sutra, 4th pada, 4th chapter, 552nd running Brahma Sutra. Here Vyasacharya says, Ishvara is Nirguna Swarupam also. By using the word also, Vyasacharya accepts the Saguna Swarupam, and in addition to that, the higher nature of Nirguna Swarupam is also there. That is, the Saguna Swarupam is a lower nature. The higher nature is Nirguna Swarupam. Saguna Swarupam is subject to change, and it is also called Vikaravarti. Vikaravarti is Saguna Swarupam, subject to change, Vikaras. It means Swarupam. That is Saguna Swarupam, which is within the field of change. Nirguna Swarupam is not subject to change. And the changeless Nirguna Swarupam is Vikara Avarti Swarupam. So Vikara Varti Swarupam is subject to change, Saguna Swarupam. Vikara Avarti Swarupam is not subject to change. It is not within the change. That means Vikara Atita Swarupam. It is beyond change. Or it is Nirvikara Swarupam. We can call it Nirguna Swarupam. All are same. Vikara Atita Swarupam, Nirvikara Swarupam, Nirguna Swarupam, all are same. And Vyasacharya says here, Ishvara has got Nirguna Swarupam. Ishvara has got Nirguna Swarupam. And what is the proof that Ishvara has got Nirguna and Saguna Swarupa? What is the proof? Vyasacharya says there are Veda Pramanams. Etavanasya Mahima. In Purusha Suktam, it refers to Saguna Swarupam of the Lord. It has infinite glory. It is, of course, within the Vikara. Vikara means all these changes. And beyond that Ishvara, there is someone called Nirguna Swarupa Brahman. And if you want the proportion, Upanishad even gives that. What is the proportion of the Nirguna Swarupa? The Upanishad gives an approximate mathematical calculation. Saguna Swarupam is only 1/4 and 3/4 is Nirgunam. Padho osya vishwa bhutani tripadasya divi. And the net result is that Ishvara has got Sagunam and Nirguna aspects. So that is what is to be understood there, both Saguna and Nirguna aspect. And in Chandogya Upanishad, in the 3rd chapter, 12th section, 6th mantra, we have seen this also. This mantra, this Purusha Sutta mantra is akin to this. It repeats actually the above Purusha Sutta mantra. Tavanasya mahima tatodhyayagasya purushaha. Padosya sarva bhutani, there vishwa bhutani, sarva bhutani, tripadasya amritam divi iti. That is the Chandogya mantra. Tavanasya mahima, etavanasya mahima there, tatodhyayagasya purushaha. So all those things, this is exactly similar to the Purusha Sutta mantra. Now let us see the word analysis of this sutra. Vikara avarti cha tatahi stitim aha. Cha means moreover. Vikara varti. So here Brahman has a higher nature which is changeless. Because Ahashruti talks about the stitim, talks about the stitim, the existence of Ishvara in that manner. So he has got Vikara Avarti means Vikara Atitam. Vikara Avarti means Brahman has got a higher nature which is changeless. Vikara Avarti. Vikara Atitam. It is an adjective to Swarupa. Vikara Avarti Swarupa. Nirvikara it means attribute-less. Cha means also. In addition to Saguna Swarupam, Stitim Aha means Shruti talks about what Aha means it is said, it is expressed where? in the Shruti. Shruti talks about Ishvara's existence, Sthitim. Tatha, in that manner. So Ishvara has Nirguna Swarupam. That is what Shruti mentions. And it is also further corroborated in the next sutra also. Darshayatas Chaivam Pratyakshanumane. Darshayatas Chaivam Pratyakshanumane, 20th Sutra, 4th Pada, 4th chapter, 553rd running Brahma Sutra. And in this sutra, Vyasacharya says, he gives the same idea actually. It is further supported by other Shruti and Smriti Vakyams also. Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means here Shruti Pramanam. Pratyaksha Pramanam, Shruti Pramanam. It is said in the Shruti. Shruti means Vedas. Just as Pratyaksha Pramanam is independently valid, Shruti Pramanam is also independently valid in this context. That is how we should understand. Anumanam. Anumanam refers to Smriti Pramanam. Pratyaksha Pramanam refers to Shruti Pramanam. Anumana Pramanam here refers to Smriti Pramanam, just as Anumana Pramanam is dependently valid on Pratyaksha. Because Anumanam, inference, always depend upon Pratyaksham only. It is not independent. But whereas Pratyaksha Pramanam is independent. Similarly, Shruti Pramanam is also independent. Whereas Smriti is like Anumanam. It is Smriti Pramanam. Anumanam depends upon Pratyaksham. Anumana is also valid Pramana in this case. Because it depends upon Pratyaksham, it is a valid Pramana. Smriti Pramana. This reveals Ishvara's Nirguna Swarupa. And what is the Shruti Vakyam kept in mind here? In Kathopanishad, 2nd chapter, 2nd section, 15th mantra. It's a very popular mantra. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. Nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi. Tameva bhantam anubhadi sarvam. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Popular mantra. And it says, Brahman's higher nature is that which cannot be illumined by Surya, Chandra and all. Nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi. So, na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. Either Surya or Chandra, any of them. Any of those luminaries cannot. That is, cannot be illumined by any of them. It is not illumined by any pramanam. It is therefore aprameya. And therefore, it is beyond the Triputi. Therefore, it is desha, kala, atitam. And therefore, it is nirvikaram. It is beyond space and time. And it is nirvikaram, changeless. So the same idea is repeated in the Smriti Pramanam in Bhagavad Gita in the 15th chapter. Natat vasayate suryaha, nashashanko napavakaha, yadgatwana nivartante, taddhamam paramam mama. 6th shloka in 15th chapter. Neither the sun nor the moon nor fire can illumine the supreme abode of the Lord. And having gone there, one does not return. Yadgatva na nivartante, to this material world again. Therefore also, Vyasacharya says, Ishvara has got higher Nirguna Swarupam. Even though he does not say why he said so, Padma Shankaracharya gives the answer. Because Shruti, Smriti Pramanas, they reveal Ishvara's Nirguna Pramanam. Ishvara's Nirguna Pramanam is given by Shruti and Smriti Granthas, even though Vyasacharya does not explicitly say that here. Now let us give the word analysis of this sutra. Darshayatas Chaivam Pratyakshanumane. Cha means again, Pratyaksha Anumane. Pratyaksha is Shruti, Anumanam is Smriti. So Smriti, Shruti and Smriti even reveal in this manner. The words of significance is what now? Pratyaksha Anumane. Prathama Bhakti, it is Dvachanam. So Darshayataha, it is believed. Believed means Evam. Evam in this manner. It is believed in this manner. What is that? Nirguna Swarupena Vartamana. That Ishvara has Nirguna Swarupam also. That is how it is. In this manner, it should be understood. It is believed. This is in addition to those given above, whatever we put all the Saguna Swarupam and all that. So this is more reinforcement of the previous sutra only. How to connect this with the present topic? Saguna Upasaka in Brahmaloka has got the facility to create, preserve, and destroy. That is the topic. Does he have or not? And commentators in Brahma, they talk about three important corollaries from this sutra. Saguna Upasaka in Brahmaloka has got the faculty to create, preserve, and destroy. Can he do that? Like Ishvara. And the commentators, they talk about three important corollaries from this sutra. Saguna Upasaka meditates upon Saguna Ishvara, and his Upasya Devata excludes Nirguna Brahman that has higher Nirguna Swarupam. He gets whatever he meditated upon. Tatkratu Nyaya is valid. But he did not meditate upon Nirguna Brahman. He meditated upon Saguna Ishvara only, which as a Upasya Devata, and so his Upasya Devata, it excludes Nirguna Brahman that has higher Nirguna Swarupam. And Saguna Upasaka is Ajnani with regard to Saguna Brahman. He is Ajnani still. He has not got Jnanam yet. Therefore, Ishvara Upasana is incomplete. That is, Nirguna Brahma Upasana is incomplete. Because of this Upasana, Ishvara and the Palam he can get is what? Nearer to Ishvara, not Ishvara. He can go to near to Ishvara. The total Ishvara is reserved for Jnani only. Since he gets total Aikyam at the end, Ishvara is Brahman. He not Saguna Ishvara. He gets total Aikyam at the time of departure. Only Jnani merges with Ishvara totally. All these Upasakas, they can go and get attached to the Ishvara there. And, each one can be around the Ishvara and all. They can all the Saulokyam, Samipyam, all that they can have. So, Vyavahara Drishtya, he merges. Paramarthika Drishtya, he joins to get Nirguna Brahma Aikyam. He has to get. Saguna Ishvara has part of the Nirguna Brahma. It's only part. So, he does not enjoy the total freedom. Even the Saguna Ishvara, he meditates is what? Nirguna Brahman only. That's what he has to meditate upon. That Saguna Ishvara as Nirguna Brahman. If he does that, then he would have got what he meditated upon. It is only Ashtaguna Vasishta Ishvara is Saguna Ishvara. As I just mentioned from the Chandogya Upanishad, all the 8 different gunas. Satya Kamatvam, Satya Sankalpam, and all that, including all of them. So that is what he meditated upon. So it does not include Jagat Vyapara Shakti. Jagat Vyapara Shakti means creative Shakti, creation of the entire universe, creation, sustenance, and life, because it is not included in Ashta Gunas that we mentioned just now in Chandogya. Therefore, Tatkratu Nyaya is second corollary. That is also validated, because he did not meditate upon, what he meditated on, he got. And the third one is, suppose a person claims Satya Kamatvam, Satya Sankalpatvam, and all that, includes Jagat Vyapara Shakti. If somebody claims that it includes Jagat Vyapara Shakti also, includes Jagat Srishti and also all that, then the Upasaka claims some other meditation that includes creation aspect also, all of them. If a person does all that, says all the Satya Sankalpatvam and all that thing, he gets Satya Kamatvam, all that includes that also, Jagat Vyapara also, including creation and all that. Chandogya Upanishad, the 3rd chapter, 14th section, 1st mantra, where Jagat Karana Bhuta Ishvara is mentioned there. Sarvam Kalu Idam Brahma Ta Jalaniti Shanta Upasita Ata Kalu Kritumayaha Purushaha Yata Kratuhu Asmin Loke Purusho Bhavati Tatetaha Pretya Bhavati Sakratum Kurvita. Suppose a Saguna Upasaka meditates on Ishvara with creative power. He meditates on Ishvara with creative power. Then naturally Upasaka will claim that power, as he has meditated upon that Ishvara. So I should get, as I meditated, Tatkratu Nyaya is there, and get Jagat Vyapara Shakti also should be included in that. Then we say, such persons also will not get Jagat Vyapara Shakti. Why? Since it will not be applicable in this Upasana, and it will be an exception for Tatkratu Nyaya. Because it will not be applicable in this Upasana. When a person, Jagat Vyapara is not applicable in this Upasana. You are talking about Saguna Ishvara. So Tatkratu Nyaya is, then it will be an exception. So we have already seen Tatkratu Nyaya is not applicable in Panchagni Vidya. Panchagni Vidya we already seen in Chandogya. So actually in Pradhananya also. So we'll say in this case also it will be an exception. Then the Upasaka will argue, and for that, he can again argue, because he will always try to find any reason not to violate Tatkruta Nyaya because it is in his favor. That's what he thinks. For that, the commentator says, if you apply the law, there will be so many problems. If you apply that law, okay, and say there is no exception, to apply it. If one meditates upon Jagad Vyapara Ishvara, the Ishvara who is capable of creation, sustenance and laya, and gets Srishti, Sthiti, Laya power, that power, then what will happen? There will be many Ishwaras. And we know Veda talks about only one creator. Then it will be Shruti Virodha. If there are many such creators, then it will be Shruti Virodha, because Shruti talks about only one creator. And the second problem will be, if there are many gods, then there will be many confusion also. One god may decide to do Srishti, another god might decide to do destruction. So whatever it is, there will be confusion. So there will be chaos, and therefore Upasakas cannot become Ishvara status, they cannot have. Even if he gets Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Shakti, it will be totally useless, because at the time of Pralaya, they all merge into Ishvara. And then how can they create the next Srishti? Because they all already have merged with Ishvara at the time of Pralaya in Brahmaloka itself. Therefore, the conclusion is what? Saguna Upasaka is lower than Ishvara. Therefore, Vyasacharya says that the Upasaka is never like a Nirguna Jnani. He is never like a Nirguna Jnani. Let us go to the next sutra. Bhoga Matra Samya Lingacha. Bhoga Matra Samya Lingacha, 21st Sutra, 4th Pada, 4th chapter, 554th running Brahma Sutra. Let us do a general analysis. Actually, we have other Shruti Vakyams also, which indirectly indicate the Upasaka does not have Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Shakti. He becomes closer to Ishvara, but he does not have this Shakti. And the Vakyam they kept in mind in this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, 1st chapter, 5th section, Brahmanam, 20th and 23rd mantras. Sayataitam devatam sarvani bhutani avanti, evam ham, evam vidagam sarvani bhutani avanti. Kincham imaha prajaha shochanti, ama eva asam tadbhavati, punyameva amam gacchati, nahavai devan papam gacchati. That is the 20th mantra of Brahmanam, first chapter. Etasai devataye sayujjakam salokatam jayati. That is the 23rd mantra. So all the beings, they honor that deity, Ishvara. So all beings honor him who knows that, and all the Satyam, he attains identity with that deity or lives in the same world with it. That's what Sayujjakam Salokatam Jayati. They get. So Ishvara is served by all devatas. And the Saguna Upasaka who becomes equal to Ishvara, the Samashti, and that Ishvara is also served by other devatas. So Upasaka will get service from all the beings. Sarvehi Ismai Deva Balima Vahanti. We already saw that. Service from all beings and devatas. And this refers to Bhoga Prapti alone. Important. He gets service and all from all the beings and devatas. That refers to only Bhoga Prapti. Bhogas. The Upasaka equality to Ishvara is only with respect to Bhoga. It is not in Srishti Sthiti Laya. He is not getting the power of Kartrutvam. He enjoys and he cannot create. He enjoys all the Bhogas. So this Upasaka gets Salokyam. Loka means the field of enjoyment only here. Salokyam means the Saguna Upasaka also will get similar field of enjoyment. And in the enjoyment of pleasures, Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha or Upasaka, they become identical. Correct. No Samya with respect to Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Shakti. It indirectly reveals restricted Aishwaryam with regard to creation. He cannot create Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. Now let's see the word analysis quickly. Bhoga Matra Samya Lingacha. Cha means also. Bhoga Matra Samya Lingat. From the scriptural reference to the equality with respect to enjoyment. Bhoga Matra. Upasaka does not have unlimited powers. Only Bhoga Matram he gets the powers. Let us see the significance of the words. Bhoga Matra Samya Lingam. Indirectly, it indicates the Shruti statement, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that I just read. first chapter, 5th Brahman, 20th mantra, 23rd mantra. So Saguna Upasaka is equal to Ishvara or Hiranyagarbha, both being Samashti, Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara are Samashti, and equality is only with respect to Bhoga Matram, enjoyment only. That means not with respect with regard to the world operations, Jagat Vyapara. Jagat Vyapara includes Srishti Sthiti Laya. So Tasya Lingam. Tasya Lingam here, Shruti Vakyam refers to Shruti Vakyam. Tasmat, from that also we conclude that Saguna Upasaka does not have Jagat Vyaparam. That Shakti he doesn't have. Let us go to the next sutra. Anavrittihi Shabdat, Anavrittihi Shabdat. 22nd Sutra, 4th Pada, 4th chapter, 555th running Brahma Sutra. Now let us see the general analysis of this sutra. This is the last sutra of the last adhikaranam of the last chapter of Brahma Sutra. Means this is the last sutra of Brahma Sutra. And Vyasacharya says that he removes a possible doubt here. In all the previous sutras, we said Upasaka is an Ajnani. Upasaka is not Ajnani. Upasaka is an Ajnani. He is not totally identical with Ishvara, and Veda comes. It continues. Because he is an Ajnani. He already said. So we talk about his limitation. So if he is still an Ajnani and still in Veda, naturally he will have Punarjanma. And will not return from, and will he not return from Brahmaloka and get Punarjanma? He will. For that, Vyasacharya says no. Because even though he enters as an Ajnani into Brahmaloka, even though he is in duality in Brahmaloka, and there in Brahmaloka, he gets Jnanam by the grace of Lord. Teacher is Brahmaji himself or Vishnu, whomsoever it is. And getting direct teaching from Brahmaji in Brahmaloka or from Vishnu in Vishnu Loka or Kailasa, Shiva, whatever, because of that Jnanam, and at the end of Brahmaloka, Pralaya Kale, along with Brahman, Hiranyagarbha, he will get Videhimukti. Pralaya Kale, all of them get Jnanam and Mukti, which gets a new name called Krama Mukti. From Brahmaloka, they will get Mukti, that is called Krama Mukti. So Shabda Pramanam is there for that from Kathopanishad, 2nd chapter, 3rd section, 16th mantra. Tayordvam ayan amrtatvam eti Vishwandhanya utkramane bhavati. And also in Chandogya, Brahmalokam apisambatyate nacha punaravartate nacha punaravartate. 8th chapter, 15th section, 1st mantra. Nacha punaravartate. Saguna Upasaka does not return. That knowledge is possible in Brahmaloka as stated in the Kathopanishad, elsewhere also at the time of Pralaya. In Brahmaloka. Kramukti he gets. So yata adarshe tadatmani. Saguna Upasaka gets Kramamukti and therefore anavrittihi. He doesn't come back. If he doesn't gain Jnanam, he will come back. Brahma Bhuvanal Lokat, Punaravartin Arjuna, correct. If he doesn't get Jnanam. But here he can get Jnanam and he can get Kramukti. So that is possible. Now let's see the word analysis quickly. Anavrittihi Shabdate, Anavrittihi Shabdate. Anavrittihi means the Upasaka does not have rebirth. Avritti, rebirth, Punaravartin Arjuna. That Avritti is rebirth. Anavritti means no rebirth. That Upasaka, having gained Kramamukti, is not going to be born again. How do we know? Shabdat. This is known from the Shruti statements. Veda says so. So from that is the Pramanam. Nobody can go and see and verify. Pramanam is Shabda Pramanam. Shabda Pramanam is Veda Pramanam. Now let us see the significance of the words. Anavrittihi. Anavrittihi means does not return, which means no punarjanma. No punarjanma padis upasaka. And Shabdat, that is known from Shruti. So all these vakyams, statements that we said earlier, they are all to be applied here. So he doesn't have punaravarti, he is not born again. Anavritti is na avritti. Anavritti means na avritti, anavritti. And this is repeated. Anavrittihi, anavrittihi. Anavrittihi shabdat, anavrittihi shabdat. It is repeated. It is repeated why? Because to indicate the end of Brahma Sutra text itself. So normally these are all indicators. When they repeat it, it means that concludes that topic, that particular section, or here the Grantha, Brahma Sutra Grantha itself. So Sutra Avritti is repeated to indicate the end of Brahma Sutra. That is, this is the last sutra in Brahma Sutra, and this indicates the end of this Brahma Sutra text. So with this, the Brahma Sutra Grantha is also over. So I will like to do a summary of the entire Brahma Sutra tomorrow, so that I will take back nearly a full class to summarize the entire Brahma Sutra. It will be a bird's eye view, so that we will have an idea of what Brahma Sutra talked about, or these various lectures that we had, and we'll get a sense to how to orient ourselves to this Grantha. We will see that tomorrow. Yo vedado sarapapto vedante cha pratishthitaha tasya prakritilīnasya parasamaheshvaraha purnamada purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.